folks, it's Jim. Just wanted to talk today about forming new relationships with other prepared people. And do you reveal too much during that process? Or do you reveal just enough? That's what this video is going to be about. Now, as usual, this is not advice of any kind. This isn't prepper advice or whatever. Just do whatever you think is best. Follow your instincts and always check with somebody else that you trust to make sure your instincts are sane, right? But anyway, let's get into it. So this particular farm makes apple fritter bread, which is really good. And then potato bread. And these magnificent cookies that are out of this world. And, by the way, they're gluten-free. So, pretty interesting. Look at the size of that cookie, man. Oh, they're like little cakes. And they're crispy on the outside and nice and moist on the inside. Good. So, excuse me. I've been watching these people. They bought the place, and for 18 months they've been growing and building out. Now they're doing goat's milk, sheep, ducks, duck eggs, chickens, chicken eggs. And they're starting to farm out back, and they moved to my little town. They started further south in Maine, and then they decided to move up here, which a lot of people are for many reasons, but it's just a nice little area. And so they've had this sign out there of products for sale, and I ride by it all the time on my bike. Finally, I stopped in there, had a conversation, came to understand they're definitely prepared people and getting prepared, right? And moving towards self-sustenance and all of that. They're in their early 50s, I think, right at 50. And was able to talk for almost an hour with these people, which was really interesting, and really nice people and whatnot. But I didn't have to reveal much about myself. Here's the thing I've learned. People like to talk about themselves. And if you allow them, they will. And what I've learned is reveal as little about myself as possible, especially when it comes to preparedness. And why is that? Because allowing people to know everything about your preparedness could set you up for a target if they were to get into trouble and not be as prepared as you think they might be, right? And case in point, say you have a relationship with these people, and then all of a sudden their sister or brother shows up with 2 kids in tow, and then a sister-in-law or brother-in-law shows up with another 2 kids in tow. Now, all of a sudden, the group you're dealing with, or the couple that you thought you were dealing with, is now about 9 people, 10 people. And they don't have enough to take care of themselves. So now, the whole dynamic of your relationship with them is going to change. So if you've revealed too much, these are the types of situations you may find yourself in if it truly ever hit the fan. So I'm all for sharing information, knowledge, and skills. All of that, but nobody knows how much food I store. Nobody knows how many weapons I have or ammo that I have stored. Nobody. 0 people. No. Okay? And I know that may sound crazy to many of you, but that's the way I've always done it. I may show a friend who's into weapons, maybe a new acquisition or something, but they've never seen my entire stock. Nobody, right? So, and it may sound strange to many of you, but I know this above all things. I've seen it. I've lived through real survival situations, folks. I've had a long military life, and I've seen what happens when people get hungry, and it's not pretty. Okay, so, and it happens fast. That's what they say, 96 hours to anarchy. You better believe it and understand it. If that's what happens to people when they get hungry, especially if they've got children, they'll do just about anything to feed them. So you have to be very, very careful. But forming relationships is a skill set that I've developed over time. People love to talk about themselves, so I allow them to talk as much. And then I evaluate their situation and I make decisions. Do I really want to get to know these people a lot more on a deeper level and maybe have a deeper partnership? But I take my time, and here's the reason why. Another problem we have is you don't know what's in their medicine cabinet. And I'm talking mental health drugs, antipsychotics, crap like that. You following me? That takes time to get to know and understand if these people are truly going to be stable in a true grid down situation that leads to havoc and chaos. People may look prepared to have the toys of preparedness, but they may not be under the covers who you think they are. People can run deceptions, man. And I've been noticing that a lot of people from rich liberal places are moving up to my place. They're bidding house prices up $50,000 over asking here. It's crazy what they're paying for these properties, right? But to them, it's worth it because our tax base is low and all of that, right? And we have fantastic schools, one of the best high schools in the country, with access to the third highest engineering university in the country, right? So they have a direct relationship to them. So my little town has a lot of benefits, and people see that, and then they do their homework and they move up here, and they're paying a whole lot to do that, which to me is crazy. And in my local area, I have 6 farms now. I'm going to add this to the list because of duck eggs, chicken eggs, and they can cook, and they cook from scratch, and they have their own professional kitchen. Man, that's a pretty good asset, don't you think? So, if the Amish farm is my backdoor neighbor and we're landlocked between us, so nobody can ever move between us. So I can sneak into the Amish without anybody ever seeing me, which is really cool. I love that aspect. It's like, thank you, God, because they make bread, jam, how the Amish are, everything. They make everything right off their own land, just about. So, and really cool people. And then, I've just got so many other chicken and farmers and all of that, even beef over here. So I'm really blessed to be in the area I am. But with that comes another catch-22 I want to bring up about forming partnerships and relationships. With all this food being grown and processed around me, oh, wow, I just realized if it